Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hi! Hi!
Welcome to the Port Charles 411 about the story of soaps.
I wasn't impressed.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting to hear the background of some things. And I thought it was great that they didn't really have soap opera stars being the ones that were talking.
Yes.
I mean, okay. Yes, they did.
That wasn't the whole thing.
Yes.
It gave other... I liked it from the information side because it's always neat to hear how things got started and changed. And like we mentioned on the weekly recap, the comparison of the old radio shows to now we have podcasts. I had never made that connection before, so that was interesting to hear. But it felt like they couldn't really pick a side because they started with soap operas, then they started talking about reality TV.
I did not like that.
I did not like that either.
Because they were basically saying soap operas are irrelevant now because of reality TV. No.
Exactly. But then in that last 5 minutes that they summarized everything, they were like, of course soaps are going to survive because they're the heart of everyone and it's all about family and blah, blah. Well, that's not what you just said an hour ago.
Well, because they showed, you know, the women slapping each other, the drinks getting thrown. But the thing is that the soap operas, we know that it's fake.
Right.
You know, when we watch that, I don't care for a lot of...
No, me neither.
Reality TV shows.
Mm-mm.
You know, when Real World, you know, the very first the third season of Real World, such a difficult show name to say.
Yes.
You know, that did a lot for the AIDS.
It did do a lot for the AIDS. And I remember hearing about that and it being, you know, in different magazines and talking about it. And that's awesome. I'm so glad that it gave that exposure that was needed. But I still didn't watch Real World.
I watched one season.
Okay.
Hawaii.
No, I never watched any of them. It didn't feel like that was their whole catchphrase where people stop being nice and start being real.
It's still scripted.
It didn't feel real. So,
and that's what they seriously tried to say, that reality shows are not scripted.
Yes.
Seriously?
Exactly.
Yeah, they are.
The real experience you're getting from watching these people is better than anything that can be written. No, because it's still being written somewhere.
Yeah.
Or even if it's not being written, it's being edited in a way that there's still a whole bunch that happened between point A and point B, and all you heard was the first line and then saw the person slap the other person.
Right.
That's not how real life works. It's not, reality TV is not real.
Exactly. No. 100%. So they had... Okay, so the only non-soap actor, actually, I don't know why John Hamm was on it, but I'm not complaining because I like him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was on Mad Men.
Right, I didn't understand that either because some of the people, they wrote out like everything they had ever been in,
right.
And you kind of went back.
And
like,
John Hamm's been in much more than Mad Men.
The guy that played Lucky for that little bit of time, yeah. I didn't realize that he had been on 90210. But whenever
Greg
it
Vaughn.
gave, yeah.
I didn't see that. I didn't even think about that because I know he's on another soap right now.
He is on another
soap.
So
I didn't pay attention to his thing.
When you saw his little thingy, it said, his little list of accomplishments, it said 90210, 96 to 97, 97 to 98. I don't know what year it was. But anyway.
Well, now I have to go back and watch 90210. So Vanessa Marcel was on there too.
Yes. Well, I knew Vanessa because I had already known her from General Hospital, but his was flipped. He did 90210 first. And so when I saw him on General Hospital, I didn't say, oh, he was on 90210.
Yeah.
So that was informative. But then there was other people that you knew have done other things. And like in that case, it only listed Mad Men. And I was like,
you've
really?
done a lot. But he sounds like John York.
Mm-hmm.
Because I kept hearing him and then they would show him. I was like, that's not
who that is.
But Bryan Cranston, I did not know was on Loving.
No.
You know, they talked about who got started on soap operas.
Mm-hmm.
Julianne Moore, Kelly Ripa, Demi Moore, Alec Baldwin, Brad Pitt, Vivica A. Fox, John Stamos, and Ryan Phillippe, which I totally forgot about Ryan Phillippe.
Oh, yeah.
And now Denise Richards is on Bold and the Beautiful. I didn't know that.
I think I saw that like on accident because again, I watch everything Hulu. So if I'm not looking for it, I don't see it. I think it was one of those, a soap was on in a doctor's office or something. And I was like, oh, I thought she was a real housewife. I mean, I know she's done other things.
She's kind of gone backwards before. She was a movie star and then she went on TV and then
now she's
on to soaps. but I never watched Knots Landing. Was it actually a soap opera or was it like the primetime soap opera?
It was Primetime.
Okay.
But
So it was
I
like
never
Dallas.
watched it either.
Okay.
Yes.
So to say that Alec Baldwin got his start on a soap opera is kind of stretching it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, that's another part I didn't agree with. They were merging daytime and nighttime really early on, and I don't think that they're the same.
I think that Bryan Cranston I liked him the best. I thought that he had a lot of really good supportive information, and saying there's nothing like this. Even John Stamos did too.
Right.
Had a lot of, I've done a lot since, but seriously, nothing compares to it.
Right. When they came down to soaps work, Susan Lucci said 16, 18, 20-hour days.
Right.
No one else is doing that. They're doing a script of 120 pages. That's the same as a movie, but they're doing it in one day. It's insane. Right. And I said that, we've had this conversation before, whenever we were little, what did you want to be? I said, even at age 6, I recognized the soap stars are doing way more material than anyone else because they're on every day. So why is it looked down like that's not a great job when it teaches you everything and you're actually using your acting skills more than a show that's on once a week?
Yeah.
Don't you hate when you're listening to a great podcast and suddenly you're interrupted by an ad?
I know! Thank goodness Stitcher lets us listen to our favorite podcasts like Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, My Favorite Murder, and many more ad-free for only $4.99 a month or $34.99 a year.
Go to Stitcher.com/premium to sign up today.
Use promo code PEER54 for 1 month free on us.
I do think we need to read the book, The Survival of Soap Operas.
Yes, that would definitely have to be a book club book.
I think the distinguishing thing, though, is, so like with Knots Landing, like I didn't know. I could understand categorizing it as a soap opera if it went year round.
Right.
I don't know if it did or not.
I don't
And I don't know, I don't think Dallas did either.
No. I'm
So,
pretty sure that those were
but
all...
I get what they're saying, and how Desperate Housewives even got made by saying it's a soap opera, but with comedy.
Yes.
But it's a dramedy.
But that's the whole point. When Desperate Housewives came on, there was a lot of backlash against that because it was like a soap that now you're putting at nighttime. So all of those shows that they were pretending were soaps that were played at nighttime before obviously weren't really soaps because they didn't get that backlash that Desperate did.
Yep. I love that Chandra Wilson sat there and went down her line. And I love that they have her on General Hospital as a screen credit. Like, she's been several different characters.
She has.
She's like, well, my mom watched this and my grandma watched this. And so I watched this and now I watch them all. And I was like, she was adorable.
She was. I love that she's as enthused by it as we are.
And the lady who said that it's her thing, and she's like, every night I just make myself my little dinner and I sit in front of my little TV and I have my little time for myself. And I'm like,
yeah, we do that too. That's the whole point of it.
Yep.
Oh, my favorite part was when Carol Burnett was talking about the telegram. I laughed so hard. I did not write down. Did you write down?
I did not write down what it was, but I was dying.
Yes, because you could totally see that happening. Even nowadays, if I text you, if you're on vacation and I text you and JD wasn't as aware of the world as he is of soap stuff, he would be like, what the heck is Amanda talking about? So-and-so died. This person's in a mental hospital, blah, blah, blah. It would be hysterical.
So-and-so killed someone else.
Yeah.
It'd be like, what? And I just thought, can you imagine being that manager who got that telegram in the middle of the night and was like, I have to deliver this to this woman. Should I be calling a doctor to make sure she's okay?
And I love that her husband had the total typical response. Oh my gosh, they're talking about her stories. It's not anything.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of all of it because it was so realistic.
So I guess Agnes Nixon is the person who started the soap opera on TV. They kept saying that she was kind of the creator, right? So she's the one who got the idea from taking the radio show to putting it onto the screen.
I did think it was interesting that they kept talking about soaps were on during the day because the women were at home and the kids were at school and the husbands were working. And so this was how all of the different ads got put out because you wanted the women to buy this certain detergent, this certain that, blah, blah, blah. But how it all started was women saying, oh, no, you need to write for women. It wasn't a men's empire that they started, that Erna Phillips was the one that stepped out and was like, hey, yeah, here, this is what you need to do. And that they started covering, I didn't realize that they started covering real life stories that far back.
Yeah.
Like we talked about.
It was the Vietnam War. Did you get the impression that the Vietnam War was the first kind of social story that they
Yes.
did. I think that's really interesting.
It is. It is. And then they said they talked about birth control and stuff. I thought the General Hospital, not that I don't think still that they're doing an amazing job, but I thought it was more groundbreaking than I guess it actually was if they had started doing it 100 years, not 100 years
Not
ago,
100.
but you know what I mean. That's my favorite number, 100 years ago.
I thought it was cool that they had the fan that created the soap opera festivals.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun. We sit here and we have our snacks and we watch the show together.
And it was so
She was fun.
She talked to the TV the same way that we do. Whatever happened on the TV was like, I didn't know, whatever. And she's like, except you did. And the husband's like, oh, did she? Yes, that was her boyfriend's blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I yell at the TV the same way. So
And
that
then
was cute.
the guy who said that he calls schizo-soapia-nervosa when people cannot distinguish between. I thought it was great that they did that whole section on people not distinguishing between the character and the soap star.
Right.
I feel like they should have taken the scene from Friends where Brooke Shields has that. You don't watch Friends.
I have seen enough Friends to know what you're talking about.
Brooke Shields thinks that Joey Tribbiani is Dr. Draco Mori and flips out on him because she sees him on TV and how are you here and blah, 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 blah. You know, but I mean, there's really people who can't separate.
Right. It's hard sometimes. Even whenever we talk about them, you're better at knowing all of the actors and actresses' names because in my mind, even when I'm talking about the actor or actress, I still use their stage names. So, not that I think they're the same person.
I know.
Not that crazy, but it's just easier to say their name, and that's where you're at.
I know.
Oh, how about that whole home shopping club shop the soaps?
I know. Why do we not have this?
I'm so glad they don't have that anymore. I would be so broke. Not like dolls and stuff. I don't want dolls of the characters, but stuff that they use, our outfits. Yeah. We talk all the time about, I loved the dress so-and-so wore, or I loved the sweater. That one sweater Carly had, we wanted that.
Yep.
If we could have just gone to QVC and bought it, that would have been dangerous.
Been done.
So
I love that they talked about soap line. I like that they talked about the impact of
OJ.
Yeah. I want to know when this was done.
Me too.
Because it was fairly recently because they kept showing the clip of Ava going over the parapet.
Mm-hmm.
And that only just recently happened.
And it was dedicated at the end. The woman it was dedicated to just passed away in February.
Yeah, because I was like, who is she? And that's what I was just looking up. Mara Mant. So she was actually one of the executive producers of the show. It says the story of soaps marks the third time that ABC and People magazine have partnered on a documentary event and is produced for ABC television by the production of Meredith Corporation with executive producers Bruce Gersh, Bruce Robertson, and Dan Wakeford, and by Maggie Vision Productions with executive producers Mara Mant and Rebecca Gitlitz.
Oh, okay.
So I guess she was one of the executive producers on the show.
Got it.
I did not know that either.
Okay.
So
yeah, I had just looked her up too to see why it was being dedicated to her. And then when it said she passed away in February, I was like, oh, okay, so this is fairly recent stuff.
Yeah. And I want to know now what other documentaries People Magazine and ABC have done. Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
There's only two more. If this is the only third, then there's only two other ones that they've done.
Just opened a rabbit hole. But okay. I like that it talked about Susan Lucci winning her Daytime Award after 18 times of being nominated and not getting it.
Yes. And how mad is Carol Burnett that they still took All My Children off the air? She's like, I'm still mad.
Yes, I'm still mad too. I missed the whole lineup. That was the way you're supposed to watch them.
I know that, I mean, it is sad to think about the fact that there's only 4, and then we're sitting here going, are we going to be able to survive this?
Right.
I did like that they kept showing the clip, or didn't keep showing it, but they showed the clip about the home video was a hot item in the 80s, and it was featured on 2020, and it literally just showed the guy, and I know I just used literally wrong, popping the VHS into the recorder, and Barbara Walters goes, that's freedom.
It made me think of that show that's on, The Goldbergs, where it's all the 80s stuff, and I thought, yeah, I don't remember. In my mind, we always had VHS.
Oh.
So I don't remember it being a big deal when we got it.
I remember when we got it, and the first VHS tape we got was E.T., who, by the way, the mom from E.T. is who played Patricia Spencer.
Oh, right.
There you go. I looked that up for Friday's Flashback because it was just part of the article. I was like, wait, that's Elliot's mom.
You're so
Elliot.
Oh, my gosh. All righty.
And it says soaps do about 250 episodes a year. They mentioned that little tidbit in there.
They work all the time.
Overall, I thought that it was really good. I thought that it was educational. It gave us some...
Yeah, I wasn't disappointed with it, except, again, I felt like it was an inconsistency because we obviously don't want soaps to end. And it felt like until that last 10 minutes that's what they were saying was this is where it started and now we have reality TV. And then they were comparing stories that are on in the evening, like they showed flashes of This Is Us and whatever. That's not a soap to me. I don't.
But here's I felt like they were showing that stuff as support of soaps for people who say, oh, it's a soap opera, that they were like, yeah, but look at what you're watching is also.
Right. I guess I appreciated that they are giving soaps the credit for laying the groundwork for all these other shows. Now they can go as extreme as Desperate Housewives went, but it still felt like it was leading us to saying, and now soaps are going to be over.
Right.
And
then now we have replacements. And that's not true.
No. And in the last 10 minutes, they said, are soaps ever going to end? No, we don't think they're going to because there's always a place for this. You're growing old with characters and they're your family and you have an invested interest in them, which makes me happy because I don't want it to end. But it just felt like they switched it in the.
I agree. I didn't even write anything down about the reality shows because I was like, no.
I just wrote about the fact that.
And if you like them, that's fine. It's just.
Right.
We just don't.
It's total personal choice. I just kind of like you have to know that the character that your soap is portraying is not the real actor. When you're watching those reality shows, I hope you know that that's not truly how those people are every day of the week. It's when the cameras are around. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how reality shows continue now with everyone starting their own YouTube channels. I mean, my kids sit and watch other little kids YouTube their lives all day long. It annoys the heck out of me. But are they going to be over it? Like for Madeline watching it now, when she hits 20, is she going to say, I don't want reality TV. I watched all that on YouTube. I'm over it.
Now I want to watch the cartoons I should have been watching when I was 7.
Exactly. Or are they going to have no interest in soaps like we do because all they want is the reality?
I forget who it was, but someone said something about we need our escapism. And I think that's the thing is that soap operas do bring in real life situations. However, they stay bipartisan.
Right.
They stay real, but they also, and they talk about real situations, but they don't, there's no agenda.
Right. It's all of the information, and then you get to take from it what you will.
Yeah.
They're not trying to tell you what to think or feel.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, I would be willing to watch the other two and discuss those also. See what People Magazine and...
We're just going to look them up right now because they might not even be... So one of them is, in their own words, it's a story about the royals.
Oh, not watching that one.
Okay. And, I did watch this one. It was Charles Manson and the Family.
Oh, all right. Well, then never mind. I guess we only have to.
Oh, no. Have I seen this one?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. No, I have. It's Truth and Lies, The Family Manson. Yeah, I've watched that one.
Okay.
You want to talk about Charlie Manson?
No.
Okay.
No, thank you. Well, I guess this is the only one we need to watch then. Never mind.
Yep. So I guess join us on Monday as we talk about what we're not sure.
What about Nurses Ball?
It's going to be something about the Nurses Ball.
Something about the Nurses Ball. So.
If you need info about the Nurses Ball, you can go back to last May.
Oh, wow.
I think it was.
So have a good weekend.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.